What if the very process of thinking, the thing that defines our minds and separates us, was also slowly, imperceptibly trapping us? Tonight, we peel back the layers of a cognitive labyrinth, a mental maze where every turn leads not to an answer, but to another question. We're talking about overthinking, not just as a bad habit, but as a potentially insidious mechanism of the modern mind. Is it a skill, a curse, or something far more complex, weaving itself into the fabric of our existence? What if it's both? And what if we've been looking at it all wrong? To truly grasp the perplexing phenomenon of overthinking, we must first understand its historical roots and its profound transformation in the modern era. For centuries, contemplation and deep thought were revered. Philosophers and scholars would spend years, even decades, meticulously dissecting ideas, unraveling complex problems, and crafting elaborate theories. This deliberate, extended mental processing was seen as a pathway to wisdom, a sign of intellectual prowess. Think of ancient Stoics, meticulously charting their emotional landscapes, or medieval monks, endlessly debating theological nuances. Their introspection was purposeful, driven by a quest for understanding and truth. It cultivated patience and offered a sense of control over an often chaotic world. There was a respect for the slow grind of the mind, the unhurried exploration of an idea until its core was exposed. Fast forward to today. The world has sped up beyond recognition. We are bombarded with information, expected to make instantaneous decisions, perpetually connected, and constantly fed a narrative of optimization. In this hyper-stimulated environment, the venerated process of deep thought has mutated. It's no longer just contemplation, it's rumination, worry, analysis paralysis. Instead of seeking clarity, it often obscures it. What once granted control now seems to strip it away, leaving us drowning in a deluge of what-ifs and should-haves. The lines blur. Is it critical thinking, or is it a symptom of a deeper malaise? We're told to think before we act, to consider all angles, to plan for every contingency. These seemingly sage pieces of advice, when pushed to their extreme, become the very fuel for the overthinking furnace. The digital age, with its endless feedback loops and the illusion of perfect information, only amplifies this internal drone. Every tweet, every curated image, every instant message offers another data point to endlessly process, another comparison to make, another potential outcome to simulate. This relentless internal dialogue isn't just mentally exhausting, it's physically debilitating, a constant low-level hum of anxiety that never quite switches off. We've built a world that demands we be perpetually on, and our minds, unfortunately, have complied, perhaps too well. But here's where the mystery deepens and the narrative takes a more unsettling turn. Overthinking isn't just a bad habit. It's a double-edged sword, initially offering a perverse sense of comfort. When faced with uncertainty, a looming deadline, a difficult conversation, a significant life choice, the instinct to overthink can feel like a protective mechanism. Our brains, ancient machines designed for survival, perceive uncertainty as a threat. So they go into overdrive, trying to predict every possible negative outcome, every potential pitfall, every angle of attack. It's an evolutionary quirk, a hypervigilance originally designed to spot predators in the bushes, now misdirected at abstract anxieties about our social standing or financial security. We convince ourselves that by replaying a conversation a dozen times, we'll somehow find the perfect response we missed. By meticulously planning every second of a presentation, we'll avoid all possible errors. This illusion of control is potent, almost addictive. It feels productive, like we're doing something about the problem, even when all we're doing is spinning our wheels in the mental mud. Consider the professional who spent weeks agonizing over a single email, rewriting it countless times, fearing misinterpretation, overanalyzing every word choice only to miss the deadline for an opportunity entirely. Or the student who, instead of studying, spent hours meticulously organizing notes and highlighting textbooks, mentally rehearsing potential exam questions, only to feel completely drained and unprepared when the actual test arrived. This is the insidious trap of analysis paralysis. The perceived need for perfect preparation overrides the capacity for actual action. Decisions become monumental tasks, shrouded in a fog of hypotheticals. Every path seems fraught with peril, every choice a potential catastrophe. Relationships suffer as we endlessly dissect a loved one's casual comment, attributing hidden meanings and motives that simply aren't there. Opportunities slip away because we're too busy debating the best way to approach them. The cost isn't just lost time, it's lost experience, lost connection, lost potential. This constant internal monologue isn't a conversation, it's an interrogation, a relentless cross-examination of ourselves and our reality, leaving us feeling exposed, vulnerable, and utterly exhausted. The feeling of being perpetually on creates a constant background hum of anxiety, a gnawing sensation that something is always wrong, something has been overlooked. This isn't healthy self-reflection. It's self-sabotage under the guise of diligence. What they discovered next changed everything. This persistent state of hyper-arousal has a profound and measurable impact on our neurology and psychology. When we overthink, our prefrontal cortex, the brain's executive control center responsible for rational thought and decision-making, goes into overdrive. Simultaneously, regions associated with threat detection, like the amygdala, remain highly active, interpreting even minor uncertainties as significant dangers. This constant signaling of threat keeps our bodies in a perpetual state of stress. Cortisol, the primary stress hormone, floods our system, leading to a host of physical ailments. Disrupted sleep patterns, digestive issues, chronic fatigue, and even a weakened immune system. Our brains, designed for occasional stress responses to acute threats, are ill-equipped for this relentless, abstract barrage. It's like keeping a car engine constantly red-lined. Eventually, something is going to break down. The mental equivalent is a vicious cycle. Overthinking fuels anxiety. Anxiety further impairs cognitive function, making us more prone to overthinking. It's a self-perpetuating loop that pulls us deeper into the quagmire. Psychologically, the consequences are stark. Overthinking is a prominent feature, and often a precursor, to generalized anxiety disorder, depression, and even obsessive-compulsive disorder. The mind becomes a prisoner of its own thoughts, replaying scenarios, searching for non-existent answers, predicting futures that never materialize. This constant mental churn depletes our emotional reserves, leading to feelings of hopelessness, irritability, and disconnection. Creativity is stifled as the spontaneous, intuitive leaps required for innovation are squashed by the demand for rigid, predictable outcomes. We lose our ability to trust our gut, our intuition, relying instead on an endless, flawed algorithmic process of our own making. What was once a tool for problem-solving transforms into an instrument of self-inflicted torment. The very mechanism designed to keep us safe now holds us captive, dictating our emotions and limiting our experiences in ways we might not even consciously perceive. The brain effectively becomes an echo chamber of its own anxieties, amplifying every minor worry until it becomes an overwhelming cacophony. Even physical pain can be intensified by this mental state, as the brain's constant vigilance interprets all signals as potential threats, turning a minor ache into a debilitating sensation. To this day, we may never fully eradicate overthinking. It's too deeply ingrained in our human psychology and exacerbated by the demands of modern life. However, understanding its mechanics is the first crucial step towards regaining some semblance of control. It's about recognizing the illusion of productivity that overthinking offers and consciously choosing to step out of the mental whirlpool. It involves cultivating mindfulness, grounding ourselves in the present moment, and learning to differentiate between productive contemplation and destructive rumination. Techniques like targeted problem solving, setting time limits for decision making, and practicing self compassion can help to loosen overthinking's grip. But the larger question lingers. As our world becomes increasingly complex and data driven, will the human mind evolve to cope with this relentless cognitive load? Or will overthinking become an even more pervasive, defining characteristic of our species, forever altering our ability to simply be? Perhaps the real mystery isn't just about how to stop overthinking, but whether, in an age of infinite information, we ever truly can. If you want more mysteries like this, the next video explores the subtle manipulation of online algorithms and how they shape our perceptions without us even knowing it.